What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of AllFishing TV. A couple weeks ago, I asked you to ask me some questions down in the comment section of the video. It's just a short little video. A bunch of you guys did, so in this video today, I'm gonna be going over them and answering every single question. I looked at a few of them right when I posted the video just to see kind of what people were asking, but after that, I didn't really look at them, so this is all gonna be new to me pretty much. So the first question is by Hunter Perkley. It's more of a demand, actually. Put a bass in the pond, a little bass. I am working on that as we speak. I want to catch all my fish and then put them in that way. I didn't really look too much into it, but from what I heard, you have to buy a certain amount if you're ordering it from a place where you buy fish. Correct me if I'm wrong. And also, it's pretty expensive to do that. So, planning on catching a bass. I want to do it just a few inches. I mean, like, that is probably all I'm gonna really put in there. If I get them too big, they're gonna eat all the bluegill. They're gonna eat all my other fish. So, if you start them out small, they'll get used to all the fish and they won't touch them afterwards. Well, at least that's the plan. Burp asked, what is your age? I am 22 years young. 17 APR 69, 16 APR 71. Long, confusing name. Said, when fishing Ohio, question mark. I'm not sure. I honestly could not tell you when I'm coming up to Ohio. In the next few years here, I do want to start venturing out and fishing a bunch of other states. So Ohio's definitely on the list. I just have no idea when I'm going there. Evan Battersketcher. Sorry if I butchered your name. He said, I have a question. Do you ice fish? And if you do, what lures do you use? Lures, baits, jig heads, line pound test. And also, what fish do you catch? What kind of gear do you fish with? Rod, line, lures, reel, and fish caught. I love your channel and I love fishing like you do. Can't wait for the video. Do I ice fish? Not really. I don't know much about ice fishing. To be honest with you, I just hate the cold. So I wouldn't my stuff I use ice fishing wouldn't really be viable information for you guys. I just kind of go with whatever they tell me to put on. Whoever I'm fishing with that day, I've only done it a couple times. I've only caught a handful of fish. What kind of gear do you fish with? I'm just gonna go this part of the question as not just ice fishing. Mainly fish medium heavy rods, roughly around 6 to 7 foot long. I use fluorocarbon line 12-pound test. Most of the time I'm fishing with Seagar. I just have Seagar and Vizix to be more specific. I have a lot of trust in that brand. No problems yet. Reels, I'm all over the place. I don't have one of the same reel. I do have two Abu Garcias. One's the Silver Max, one's the Black Max. Mainly, I'm just all over the place with my reels. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as they're smooth and they cast pretty far, I'll be fine. Ice fishing, I've caught and catched, whatever the word is, bass, bluegill, crappie. With regular fishing, I'm just gonna go with what I haven't caught, at least in my area. Muskie, I don't know if muskies are around here, I doubt they are, but muskie, pike, walleye. I still haven't caught a walleye, which is very surprising. I really want to catch my first walleye. I really want to catch my first pike. Those are the main ones that I haven't caught before. Nick Powell, he said, bait caster or spinning reel, and do you go ice fishing? If so, what lure do you use or setup? Like I said, ice fishing, I don't know much about, and I don't really like the cold. So I'll skip that part of the question, and I'll go to baitcaster or spinning reel, and it is 1000% a baitcaster. 1000%. I am so inaccurate with the spinning reel, it's unbelievable. All Outdoors TV, that's my buddy. You guys know him probably, it's Nick. Favorite soft plastic, 1000% the Zoom Speed Craw, and he actually got me on it. He did the Zoom Speed Craw first and was whacking them, and I always stuck to the stick baits, trick worms, and then one day I tried it and I just fell in love, and now I can never go back. And what's your favorite TV series? That's from Nick again. Oh, that's a hard one. I just finished the 100. That was absolutely phenomenal. Well, I didn't finish it. They're coming out with a new season, but I finished season 4. Breaking Bad's definitely up there, and Lost, for sure. It's between one of those three. I'm not gonna pick a favorite because they are all fantastic. Mastermind said, what is your most expensive rod and reel combo, and what is your cheapest rod and reel combo? But it has to be spinning and bait casting. Most expensive one actually got stolen from me. I had I'm trying to remember what it is now. It was a Fluger Supreme. It was roughly around like, I wanna say like 150, 175 bucks. And then I had that paired up with a Bass Pro Shops cranking stick, that's what it was. And that was 110. So roughly around a $300 setup. just got stolen. In my previous videos I talked about it. I don't remember which videos, but I don't really want to get into that. And my cheapest setup probably is the one I just got. I just got a $20 Bass Pro Shops rod. I didn't put anything on it yet, but I'm thinking about just throwing on, I think this reel. I got this in the bargain bin, or the bargain cave over at Cabela's for $22. Look at that. It is a what is this again? I totally forgot. It's the the Lose Laser Z Carbon speed spool. So I'm excited to put this on. I'll probably put it on that Bass Pro Shops rod just to have an extra setup there. And yeah, so that's probably my cheapest rod and reel, which is roughly around 45 bucks after taxes and stuff. Bruce Myers, which is actually my dad, he said, when are you gonna clean your room? And I don't know, it's still not clean. I'm not gonna show you guys my room. Ready Aim Fish said, fishing in Ontario, Canada, when and where? I definitely want to go up to Canada. I just don't know when because I still don't have my passport and I just have no plans to head up there at the moment. But I'm sure it'll be pretty soon. Stephen Secondo said, when and where will you be answering these questions? Now and in my room. Brett G said, do you live in CT? That is a yes. Zach Fisher said, what's 9 plus 10? I feel like I got this on my last one, but it's definitely... Zach Fisher said, what is your favorite lure and PB largemouth? My favorite lure is, I'm not gonna pick soft plastics as lures. My favorite lure is probably gonna have to be a buzzbait, for sure. Nothing beats a topwater explosion. If you want to go even more specific, it's definitely the War Eagle buzzbait. And my PB largemouth is 6 pounds, 8 ounces, so 6.5. Wyatt Frizzle said, do you like turtles?
I like turtles.
Randy Mirando said, do you do any meetups? I have not yet. I'm not quite sure if many people will come to the meetups yet, so I'll probably wait till my channel gets a little bit more viewers, a little bit more people coming to the channel. Ben, oh, I'm gonna butcher this one again. Ben Arens said, do you do any striper fishing? I know it's good ride from the Granby area. I don't know what he meant by that, but do I do any striper fishing? Yes. We go down a few times a year for the Blitz down in Rhode Island. I want to go to New Jersey. I heard that has really good striper fishing, so I'm gonna try to make it down to New Jersey this year, but Rhode Island, we definitely take at least 2 trips down there for the Blitz in the fall, and also I think we go a little bit in the spring as well. James Blockfield said, do you think you'll get a bigger pond in the future and get a big pet bass? That's the goal. That is definitely the plan. I would love to do that. I would love to buy a house and just have a huge pond on it. And then I can just raise my fish in that. Nice deep pond where I don't have to worry about it draining. I don't have to worry about it drying up. I don't have to worry about building it. I just want to buy a house with a pond on it and just raise some fish there. Tony Jung 87 said, I have a question for you. Have you ever fished the Nico rig? And if you have, what type of worm do you like to use? I'll answer that right now. No, I've never tried the Nico rig, I'm sorry. I also think you should do a video on Nico rig fishing so we can see how you fish it and what type of rod reel. I know very little about the Nico rig. I really, not the person to come to for that stuff. And as always, keep the great videos coming, for sure. I'm gonna try my best. John L said, what is your favorite rod? I'm gonna have to go with the cranking stick that I had that got stolen. The Bass Pro Shops cranking stick. I think it was the best bang for your buck. A close competitor is the Blackout Series rod from No. 8 Tackle. That was a cheap rod. I think I got two of them for I think 54 bucks a pop. Decent rod. I have no problems with it. Greg Giono said, are you married to Megan or when are you going to marry Megan? I am not married to Megan yet, but we are engaged. We are planning to get married September of 2019, so about 1.5 years from now. Ben F said, would you ever consider doing a subscriber meetup? Yes. That is one of my goals, is to just have like a center point where most of my subscribers can actually be able to drive there and not have a 6-hour drive, because then most of the time they won't go. So I want to find a center spot. I don't know if it's gonna be this year. I think I might wait for a little while to have my channel get a little bit bigger. Just host a big meetup at like a lake or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Miles Hubert said, what would happen if you put a pickerel in the pond? I put 2 pickerel in the small pond. If you guys look back in the videos, you guys would know which pond that is. Put 2 pickerel in there, and actually those are the only fish, believe it or not, those were the only fish that were not in there when I went to go transfer the fish. I had 2 pickerel, bunch of bluegill, bunch of koi, and those were the only fish that just disappeared. For the longest time, I saw them in there and they never hurt the fish. I'm not gonna put one in there now. I really don't want to. When I had one in the pond, they did fine. JM Mass 3264 said, Also a CT fisherman. Just curious, what's your favorite Connecticut lake to fish for smallies? Favorite lake to fish for smallies is for sure Crystal Lake. It is the easiest. Craig Banash. We all remember and talk about the good times fishing, but what's your worst fishing memory? Stolen gear, boat sunk. By far, the worst fishing experience memory, I should say, is when me and Megan got our fishing rod stolen. We were actually in Vermont, and we brought every rod that we had besides one to the opposite side of the lake. We were on a cabin. We went to the opposite side of the lake, brought the kayaks, went out fishing, came back. As we were loading the kayaks into the truck, we put the rods on the side. We drove off. Halfway back to the cabin, we realized we forgot them. We came back, and they were gone. That was probably close to $500–600 worth of fishing rods and reels, and it was heartbreaking. I'm not gonna lie, that sucked so bad, especially because we were on a fishing trip and we had no rods or reels. Orlando Alabarsis said, when are you coming back to Mass to fish? I live right next to Mass, so I'm sure I'll be back soon. Definitely going to Lil Alum this year, and I'll probably check out a couple other lakes. The Old Basser said, have you ever been to Texas to fish? Ever thought about it, want to, etc.? For sure, that's probably #1 on my list to go bass fishing is Texas, and also to meet up with all the big YouTubers and stuff and such. Definitely #1 on the bucket list. So anyways guys, that's all the questions I got from the video. I appreciate every one of you guys who participated in this. I'm glad I got a good amount of questions to answer, and I hope you guys learned a little bit about myself. If you have any more questions, go ahead, leave them in the description, or in the comment section of this video, and I will just type you back, and I'll answer them that way. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one.